Hey, how you doing?
Good. Welcome to Champagne and Conversations.
For having me.
Yes, guys. Yes, we have producer Ski Beats with us, and we are celebrating today. Cheers
Like,
to you.
thank you. I like the show. We get the drink. Yay.
You get to drink. Yes. And what are you drinking? Rosé?
Yeah, some Bel Air, Rose. Yeah.
Okay, you didn't have to say the brand. They're not paying us for that, but
Oh,
okay, that's cool. That's okay. Shout out to Bel Air. That's
hmm
the fam, no problem. What's up? How are you? How's everything going with you? I always try to do our wellness check throughout this COVID situation. So how has everything been with you?
Man, been blessed, man. God's been taking care of me and the family. Everything's good.
That is great. Yes,
Mm.
awesome. That is now we're gonna celebrate a lot of different things here, but I want to say congratulations, 25 years to your Camp Low project Uptown Saturday Night, which is a favorite of mine. So congratulations, cheers to you all and celebrating 25 years to that. Look, we'll have another reason to drink, right? Yes.
Appreciate it, man. It's been 25 years. That's crazy.
That's
Time is
crazy, right?
crazy.
Yeah,
hmm
time flies. So how was it working on that project? I mean, the guys, I've come to know Chiba. I have not been able to, actually meet Geechee Sway, but how was it working up with them on the project? Because not only did you do that, you've done several projects with them, right?
Right, right, right.
Okay, okay.
I mean, it's always dope working with Camp Lows. They're so creative. They're like just working with individuals that's just different and abstract and just bringing something special to the table creatively wise, and it's always a good time working with Karen Lowe, man.
Right,
Always.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And so, and yeah, I mean, did you have any input on their style in terms of not so much the fashion style, but just the way that they delivered the flow, because they were into me a league of their own as it related to coming out in the 90s and the way, a lot of the other music was being delivered. So was there any like differences that you contributed to and just getting them to be, kind of off on their own?
Well,
Unique, unique.
I mean, as a producer, I threw my 2 cents in when it came to how we was arranging the music and
Right.
arranging the. Sometimes they might have kind of wrote too many bars, and I had to tell them to cut things short, this and that. But as far as their flow and their creativity, that's all them. That's all them.
It's
When I
all
met
them.
them, it's funny because when I met them, that's how they was dressing, that's how they was talking. Like that's like authentically them. That's who they are. And we just translated that into music, which is a beautiful thing. That's what made it that much more, real. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you have musicianship. So do you play several instruments?
I play around with stuff. I'm not gonna say I'm a full blown musician, but I have an ear where I can kind of maneuver around and get things done.
Yeah, because I noticed that with your tracks, specifically like the ones that I was highlighting, like this morning, Spinning the Dough, which is on Little Kim's hardcore album, it has a
Right.
lot of, that melodic feel to it. And same thing with the Camp Low project. So I just wondered if you actually were playing those instruments or you just have an ear, you just love, more keyboard, more bass, that kind of thing.
That's what it is. I'm from a household of musicians. Like my mom plays, my brother plays, my dad plays, my sister plays, and I've just always been around music. So I gravitate more to melodic musical samples opposed to the super hard things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. And congratulations again. I mean, I am so excited to be able to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Ski Beats with us, producer extraordinaire,
Hey,
90s everything. And as we were planning and preparing for him to come on, it was just a perfect time to celebrate again a project that you have 25 years. And he wanted to have champagne with me, so that was even better. And so we are here and we are celebrating. And we have so much to talk about. But before we continue on, I do want to highlight your new music and new projects because I think that you have something very very, very cool going on where you're highlighting new artists as well, right? On your Smoke Pack
Oh yeah.
projects. So let's talk about that. What do you have going on with that?
Well, I have the smack packs, I have the smoke packs. The smack packs is basically, and it's two different things. The smack pack is basically me giving up and coming producers the opportunity, to showcase their music, get them out there, form a community so these guys can network. I know when I was coming up, I didn't really have anybody that was kind of showing me things, so I had to kind of learn things on my own. And now since we got all this technology, I'm just bringing them together and just letting them just meet each other, and I'm learning from them, they're learning from me, and it's dope. It's like we got a whole little thing going on right now.
It's
And with
dope.
yeah,
And the track. So are you giving them like one track to submit to at a time, or they can pick from a catalog? How does it work?
well, with the smack pack, it's they submit 2 tracks every challenge, and the best track makes it to the final 8. I pick 8 guys, and who I feel, is that's dope. And I let them, go to the final 8. With the smoke pack, it's a little different. The smoke pack is featuring the rapper Smoke Dizza from Harlem. That's why we call it the smoke pack. And
Okay.
basically, yeah, and basically I'm having like the community create music for an album. So the community is actually making this album in real time. So the winner
Nice.
gets placement on the album. So we got what, like 9 more challenges to go. This is like our second one here.
Oh, that's so dope. I thought it was really, really nice because even one of the submissions for that is an old school, at least artwork, it appeared. I'm
Yeah.
not certain if the group looked as if, but I was like, oh my gosh, that's like a throwback group. So I thought that that was real cool as well. And just, kudos to you that you were even reaching back to, extend your expertise, your knowledge, and giving some of these young people the opportunity to work under a grade. I mean, I think giving you your flowers for that, we do appreciate that. I think that's awesome. And they're being able to, you want to cheers to that too, yeah. Absolutely. So now talking about the fact that you're giving back, you had an opportunity, as you said, when you were younger to experience so much. You've worked with so many people and all of the projects that well, from your discography that I see were successful and very successful with the greats that you've worked with. So talk about how you got into that situation. How did those things happen for you?
Wow, that's a crazy story. I mean,
We got time. I think
I was
we have time.
I was a rapper first. Like for those who don't know, I'm originally from North Carolina, and I
Yes.
was in a group called the Busy Boys, and I was a rapper in that group. I was the rapper in that group. It was one rapper, it was me, and
Okay.
his name was Fanatic, and the Fanatic he taught me how to make music. That's where I learned all my production skills from. And while being in the Busy Boys, we used to open up for all the major acts, like the Salt and Peppers, the Run DMCs, the Dana Danes, whatever, whatever. And
Okay.
I met Clark Kent on one of his tours with Dana Dane
Wow.
back in the '80s, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever come to New York, look me up." And I think like around '91, I moved to New York, and when I got to New York, I just started, working on another project, rapping. I called Clark. I told him I had a demo tape. He said, "Yo, bring it to the office." I brought it to the office. Next thing you know, I had a deal. I was on Atlantic Records. But Clark introduced me to the whole. Once I got to do it, Atlantic Records, original flavor, by the way.
Yes.
Uh, Clark introduced me to the whole production game because I was always making beats, but I didn't know I was a producer. I thought all rappers made their beats. I just thought that was part of the thing. But he was like, "Nah, dude, you got all this music. You could give it to other people. You could possibly make some money, and it could go good for you." And
Yes.
that's what
And it
happened.
went wonderfully for you.
Yeah, we had a good
Yeah,
time.
it did. So now, which part did you enjoy more? Do you like the production part, or did you like the MC part more?
I, I like the production part because I was already like 5 years in the game rapping in North Carolina, and I had a great time, and we was pretty popular in my hometown. And
Yeah.
when the whole production thing, I just love the fact that oh, I can get paid and I can be in the background. I don't have to be, you know, out there. I love that. And I, you know, I met everybody. You know, I was meeting from Biggie to Jay to everybody. I was just meeting people, and it was dope. I love that.
It was dope. And
Hmm.
so I have to ask, what was it like working with Jay?
You know, Jay, lyrical genius, funny, funny as hell, um, amazing talent, obviously, super
Amazing
smart.
talent.
It was
Hmm.
great. You know, Jay was a pro, man. He get in the booth, one take hold.
What would you say that you learned from him?
Um, what did I learn from Jay? To have multiple hustles, have
Okay.
different of ways to get money in the music
Yes.
industry. You know,
Yes. Hmm.
so,
And out of all the artists that you've worked with in terms of work ethic, studio time, just ideas on marketing, strategies on, a new album, who would you say would be in the forefront of that?
hmm, that's a good question. I mean, I was always on the creative end. I was never like tied in with the marketing aspect of what was going on in the industry at that time because I was just a producer. But I have to say, as far as work ethic, I'm gonna give it to Camp Low because we would do 5 songs a night. Like
Wow.
we would write 5 brand new songs. They wouldn't come into the studio with 5 songs ready. We would sit in my house and we would write 5 songs every night. And
Okay.
five, they just, yo, it was incredible. Them guys, like, they was batteries. They never, wow. Cam Low,
Wow.
Camp Low.
Wow. And I mean, and to say that,
Mm-hmm.
just the fact that they were so on fire in that time,
Mm-hmm.
we're excited to see that they are working on some new music now.
Yeah,
Just in terms of just their growth, do you celebrate that as well, like them and the new era of time? I mean, do you think that that fits their energy, the look, the feel of what their music was about now?
yeah, totally. Camp Low, they set the tone for style, in my opinion. You know what I mean? When it came to hip hop. And they're still ahead of their time. I mean, their lyrics are still, nobody's rapping like Camp Low. They still on another planet with their music and their creativity. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
I hope Chiba hears that because I say it all the time. Like, dude, what are you doing? The flow is ridiculous. So,
mhm,
just keep at it. And now, just to switch over to the new music, is there anyone that you vibe with now based on all of the, history that you have with the, artists that you've worked with in the past?
right. I'm gonna keep it honest. I don't really listen to too much new music. I mean, I have a project that I just released with Currency called Pilot Talk 4, which
Shout out.
is
Hmm.
which is crazy.
I was
Uh
listening to King Kong earlier.
oh, King Kong, yeah, I like that.
Yes.
uh
I needed some motivation, Ski.
do it right there. Um,
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I mean, J. Cole is dope. But I wouldn't even consider him new anymore because
I
he's
know. I don't think so either. When people say that one or Kendrick Lamar, I'm like, they're not new. They're
right.
kind of like still with us, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
But as far as new, I mean, you know what? I'm at an age where I don't want to be my parents, but I'm kind of like my parents. I
We're
can't
the
really,
parents.
you know what I mean? I can't relate. I'm sure they're having fun and I'm sure it's nice, but I'm still on my own little waves musically. I'm still doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So who was your favorite? Not so much who you work with, but just in terms of you got in the car and you were just ready to drive, or you went to the club and you wanted to get, your party started. Who was that you were listening to?
Oh, wow. So many people back when I was coming up.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And
Man, girl,
take it back to the old school.
Biggie, Biggie was doing it for me. Uh, everybody in the 90s was dope. Tribe Called Quest, um, NWA, everybody was doing it for me back then. It was just that's what I loved about the 90s. Um, Everybody was so different. You had a Tribe Called Quest, but then you can flip on some NWA, but then you can listen to some PE. But then, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had their own little thing, their own little
Yeah.
that little planet going on. And nowadays, and I'm not trying to be a hater because I'm definitely far from a hater, but I feel like everything is kind of like the same energy a little bit. It's like the
Right.
same kind of we doing this, we watching the same movie over and over again, you know? You know what I mean?
Rewind. Yes. So
Good,
how
man.
did it feel when you got to the club and you heard, for instance, John Blaze? How,
Ooh,
how did that feel?
so great. You already know. You know, it just felt like, yo, I made that beat and they killing it right now. And I got the
They're
dope.
killing it.
It felt good.
Yes. So what was it like on that project? Now, do you have the opportunity to be in the studio with those that are coming in like a Nas or like a Fat Joe, or are you just doing the beat and they, sending out the beat and they laying their lyrics and sending it back?
You know what? It's funny because with that particular project, that was the remix actually, and I was only in the studio with Fat Joe. The song was already done. They had a beat to it, but they didn't like the beat, so they made me come in and do a new beat. I wish I would have been in the studio with all of them at the same time. That would have been amazing. Um, but that for that particular song, no, it was just me and Joe and the A&R guy.
Yeah. And what was that like working with Joe?
Oh, Joe's dope. It was cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Joe's dope. Absolutely. Um, so you had an opportunity to, I mean, your discography is 90s on through to 2000. I mean, you're here at 2020, still
Mhm.
putting out bangers for sure. Did you have an opportunity to go on the road with anyone? Were you out on any tours at all?
Yeah. I was on I DJ for Mob Deep for like 2, 3 years. Then I DJ for Currency for like 2 years.
So you DJ'd also. So now we're MCing, producing, and DJing.
Well, I wouldn't call myself like a one of those real those DJs, but I was keeping everything
The
on beat.
party started. Okay. All right. So what was it like? Do you have a tour story for us? Like something crazy on
And
tour?
with Mob Deep, it was amazing because when I was with them, they took me literally around the world twice, like
Okay.
everywhere, like I had never got out of the states until I got with Mob Deep, and I
Okay.
thought I was never gonna get out the states because I'm older and my rap career I did my thing, I did my music production thing, and I didn't even see the Mob Deep me DJing for them and then going all over the world for like 2, 3 years doing that. It was
Yeah.
amazing. I've been
Yeah.
everywhere. Held baby tigers in Africa. I've been to the Great Wall of China looking at the oh man, it's amazing.
Keep going. I'm with you. Go ahead. Let's go. Especially while we're sitting in COVID. Where else did you all go? What were your exciting moments?
And 26-hour flights to Australia, amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Uh parasailing in France, incredible. Man, in Brazil, oh my God, I missed that. We went when I say everywhere, them boys took me everywhere. Rest in peace, P, man. I love that dude, man. He was mad cool,
Rest in
man.
peace, Prodigy. Absolutely. That was a good feeling, right? That moment. You just went high for 20 seconds. That's great. That's what we like in terms of the music. I think that that's what the conversation is about now in terms of old music and new music, where we get in terms of a feeling for sure. And, all of us in this kind of COVID pandemic, so to speak, and we're just, locked down, we're reaching for something, something that feels good, something that we can relate to. So just in terms of what you did is what we like to, lean into and rest on to say, there were good times and they were simple times, even though, there may be less of things at that moment in the 90s or what have you. It still was a good time. We went to the club, we went, to parks and basketball games and
Yeah.
it was just music and it was just a good time. And that's why it's so exciting to be able to give you guys your flowers, to talk to all of the legends in hip hop. And I was reading an article about you in XL, and they were saying, in case you don't know, Ski Beats is a big deal. So we're going to say congratulations to you for being a big deal. Yes, absolutely. I think that it's just amazing all the people that you have worked with and had the opportunity to to share. So in your day today, what would you tell your younger self?
In my day to day, what would I tell my younger self? Um, Save some of that bread, kid.
Ah,
Bread,
yes,
it ain't gonna last forever, baby.
yes.
Cause
So now, when you say that, did you think that it was when you were in the moment, or it didn't matter?
yeah,
It was just,
man, when you're in the moment and everything is just happening how it's happening, the last thing you're thinking about is it not happening. You know what I mean? It was just
yeah,
going. But
yes, yes,
no regrets. I had a good time. I'm still having a good time. You know what I mean? We still creating new things, doing creating new moments right now. That's what
that's
it's
what
all.
it's about. Yep,
Mhm.
that's what it's about. Who would you like to work with today?
Who would I like to? Man, hmm. I'm just so not into like my focus is not being on production. My focus is more about like how can I say? Okay, I got a dojo school curriculum based in North Carolina. I got what we like in three different school systems in North Carolina where I'm
Okay,
teaching
congratulations. Nice.
where I'm teaching kids how to make beats. I'm more on the academia side of things right now. I like teaching.
Yep,
I like giving back. That's what I'm more into right now. I mean,
yes,
if a artist was to approach me and I felt it and it was natural and we vibe, then yeah, I would probably create something that would probably be dope. But right now, my focus is like, yo, you know, what you want to learn? How can we get this here? How can we move that there? I'm trying to be a business guy, I guess.
yeah. But you're also building legacy, and that's what that's about. It's just the knowledge that you have becomes the power, right? And so now you're just sharing that with others, and then they say, Ski Beats taught me how to A, B, C, D, and then that was what they remember you for. And so that it means
And
so much more.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No.
it's so satisfying to see a young person, have that aha moment because it reminds me when I had those aha moments when I was like trying to learn how to do something on a beat machine or whatever, and then you see their face and the light up and you feel it because you've been there. Like, see, you know what I mean? And I love that feeling. And it's like
Yeah.
it's just nothing like giving back. Like giving back is way better than receiving, man. Giving is way better. I never understood that when I was younger. I'm like, fuck that, give me, give me, give me. But now when you
Yeah.
and you see it, and when you giving that love back, they're gonna give it back to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's real.
Yes, that's so
It's
dope.
real.
I mean, absolutely. And it's a fulfilling part of what we do. Once you get to a place, what we consider success, once you get to a place where you can level off and you can now share that information, that's what it's about. I mean, when you're doing that true walk, when you share that information, it's just giving so much more to it. And it's gratifying in that sense. So, definitely, congratulations to you on that. And you just mentioned something that I really want to kind of tap into in terms of all the people that
Mhm.
you've worked with, and you were talking about what you're giving back to people now. Who would you put in that space? Who would you recognize as someone that was giving back at the time that you all were creating? I mean, in the moments of you all creating, that would be the 90s.
Clark Kent. Clark Kent. He was like my mentor, and he was showing me
Right.
and giving back. You know what I'm saying? Just giving me and everybody around us, from Jay-Z to Dame to Camp Low to Original Flavor, just giving back. He did everything in
Nice.
his. Everybody was where they needed to be.
Yes, so that's so cool. And I mean, obviously allowing for, and pardon the pun, the blueprint to be laid out for you all to follow, to create. What was your favorite track?
Wow, my favorite track.
I know that might be a little difficult, right? You should have a few.
Wow. I mean, Lucini is always up there with me. That's like a special one for me. Um, so many. I
You
don't
can
really
give
have,
us more than one. You don't have to say one. I know that's like having children. You can't say you have a favorite child. So you could give us a few.
Lucini, Streets is Watching, definitely John Blaze. I Hear the People Talk, Who You With, um,
Who you with? It's my favorite.
good one. Dang, all of the Currency stuff from Address to King Kong to audio dope. Like I'm my newer stuff, I really like the newer stuff. If you listen to all the Currencies, Pilot Talk 1, 2, 3, and 4, we was on a whole different atmosphere with that. And it's just real
Okay.
vibey, real melodic. Check it out when you get a chance. I think you'll like that. It
Yeah,
was cool.
definitely. I started into it. So I will continue checking
Yeah.
that out. Now, you had an interesting project with Razkaz. And I actually wanted to feature it and ran out a little bit of time, but you did it with Razkaz and you paid homage to Prodigy in that particular project. Well, it was a small clip that I saw, but what was that about?
Dang, I don't even remember that. With Razzcast, what was we doing? I only did
It
I
was just
song with Razzcast.
uh-huh. It was one song and it looked as if it was you and Razkaz was on it and you all gave like, you know, RIP to Prodigy, but it was speaking to, just kind of the society and such. So it was more of like a thought conscious type of song.
What? Send me that link. Because the only,
Okay.
only song I remember I did with Razzcast was something that I did when I was working with Dane for DD172. Um, and that couldn't have been the same thing because Prodigy was still here. Wow.
I'll send it to you. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't put it up because you'd have been like, "What is that?" So, okay, we'll
Man,
we'll we'll go back and we'll talk offline, and I'll update you all about it if it's definitely something there. And so you only had one song with Razkaz. What was that like?
that was dope. Razzcast is dope. Always been a fan of his music. You know, he's definitely a OG when it comes to the lyrics and stuff. And he's definitely a hip hop um, dude. So working with him was a no brainer. And when he came to New York and we hooked up, it was dope. I
Nice.
like.
Yes. Yes. So you also had a more recent project with like Jim Jones, and you did have Currency on it, and that was 24 Karate, 24
25,
Karate.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
What's
yeah.
that project like?
That was dope. That's when I moved back. I was living in North Carolina, and then I returned back to New York. And when I returned to New York, I hooked back up with Dane, and he told me about all the stuff he was doing. He was doing black rock at the time, and he invited me to come, to the office. So I came through. When I came through, he was like, "Yo, you know what? You should stay here. We should do this and do that." So I said, "All right, fuck it, let's go." And we came over 24-hour karate school, and that's Jim Jones, the Currency. That's how I met Currency through that. Razkaz, Most Def, Cool Kids, Stally. I mean, cats that was not even, anyone at the time, from Currency to Stally to Cool Kids. Who else? Who else he had? There was a lot of people.
Jay Electronica.
Jay Electronica, well,
Yeah.
Jay was, but Currency, and and the Cool Kids, they wasn't even, and Stally, especially, they was just getting into the game, and
Hmm.
that was the whole DD creative control situation that brought them to the light, you know, and to where they are now, if you ask me.
All dope. I love the fact that, there's always a movement forward. And obviously Dame Dash has had that vision for quite some time. So we haven't talked much about your relationship with Dame, but I do know, like you stated, when he brought you in, he really took you on and said, "Let's go." So what was that relationship like? How was it working with Dame?
Like my little brother, he was my little brother. Uh, Annoying as hell, but super smart and dope.
Super smart. I was going to say he's so smart. Yes.
Yeah, super smart, dope, visionary, like you said. Um, um, I learned a lot from him. I'm older, but I've just learned so much from him as far as just getting up and hustling, and definitely just having your vision. And people might not believe it, but it's your vision, and if you keep going, you're gonna achieve it. You know what I mean? Especially if you feel it in your heart. And I saw him, just take nothing from everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And such a go-getter and still a go-getter,
Oh yeah,
still really pushing to do the things that, like you say, whether people believed in it or not, it's like I'm going to still make it happen.
man.
Are you all still connected now?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I tell
Yes.
people, man, all the time, man. Look, you can create. anything in this life. You know what I'm saying? You can write any type of chapter. Everybody's kind of stuck in being one character. Or I'm a producer, or I rap, or I'm a this, I'm that. Nah, you can be whatever you want to be. You don't have to be stuck in
Right,
one. I'm just doing this for now, and then I'm after that I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that and do that, and it's all good, you know. So
right.
enjoy your
That's
life.
right.
You can do anything you want to
Enjoy your life. Yes.
do.
And just in terms of being such an iconic view, in terms of, so many will reference you going forward. Ski Beats has done this, the music that you all love, the music that you all like. What is it that you want the message to be, for people to say or to know about you?
With the message I want to leave behind.
Yes.
Oh man, I I loved it. I just whatever he did, he loved it. I loved everything that I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I,
And no regrets.
no regrets. No.
That's so dope. And it's so important for people to understand that because some people do live with regrets. And once you let that part go, I think that it becomes so much more,
Like,
to just say it was a lesson, right? It wasn't so much a regret, it's a lesson, and you take that and you move forward. So once you get past that whole blockage, you can flow, right? You can really enter into the time in which you really want to be. And I think it's amazing because you've worked with so many and you've had the opportunity to do so much. It's almost like you could just sit back and kick your feet up now, right? You went hard in the 90s, you can chill now if you want, but I know you're not chilling, right?
it's funny because it's not even when you're doing it, you're not even going hard because it's just what you do. It's just like you just doing it. It was like
Yeah,
I like and that's just what we did. We loved it so much. It was never work. And I be tripping when I look at like on the gram and I see people in the studio, yo, we in here working. We in here working. I'm like, nah, dude, you in there having fun. You playing. You living your life. Stop
right.
calling, man. This is nothing, you know? This is
Yeah,
love it. This is what it is. And it turns into what it turns into. You know what I mean?
turns into what it is. So, any studio moments, any over the top studio moments that you can remember?
Man, I got a million studio moments.
Yes,
Come on.
we need one. I need a crazy one. Did you have any with Big?
I mean, there's one that I always tell where, um, when I was in the studio with Jay and Biggie. We was at D&D, and we always at D&D. Biggie was always there. Jay was always there. And they had like this little, you know, little friendly competition thing going on, which is
Hmm.
all good because that's what rappers do. And every time Jay will make something dope that I produce, he will make me go into the other studio and play it for Big. Like, yo, go in there and play this beat for Big. So like Streets is watching. I made the beat. I went to the other room, played it for Big, and Big looked at me like, yo, that's for Jay-Z, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, ah. And they had this thing going back and forth, like who got the hottest records, yada, yada, yada. But it was all, it was dope. It was dope. It was always like that in the studio. It was always competition. It was always, every artist in the 90s, especially D&D, every artist in the 90s was at D&D recording. So every time we would go into the studio, we would see the Buckshot Shorties, the Biggie Smalls, the Wu-Tangs, or whatever. They would always be there because that's how that
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like you got the energy from that? Like just seeing all of that, I mean, because you were around what we would say, or at least I'll say, was the greatest at that time. So, I mean, did that even just create more energy, more inspiration for you to
It,
keep going?
but I had the energy coming from NC because that's all we did. Even though it was NC and it was just my crew, but that's what we did. We was in the studio. We had that same energy, and it was
Yeah.
just me, just being in home at a different place. But it was cool at the same time because I'm looking at people that got these hit videos and these hit records out, and they're in the studio, and we just we making music, and it was definitely an amazing experience. But at
Yeah.
the same time, shoot, I knew what I was bringing to the table, so we had, it was dope. It
Yes.
was,
And I guess you were bringing it from a humble perspective, right? So it wasn't so much that you were just like, I'm that dude, but just, I'm going to create the heat. I'm creating what is necessary to really make this thing pop. Is it that kind of how you just carried it when you were with them?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I do what I like. I always felt like if I like it, they're gonna like it too. And that's me coming from the MC side of production. I felt like if I could rap to the beat, they should be able to rap to it too. So anytime I made a track and I wanted to rap to it, I always knew somebody was gonna like it. And 9 times out of 10, it always worked like that for me.
It always work. Absolutely. I do believe it all worked for you. Yes. I can say that you did do an excellent job at putting out your best. And you're obviously doing more at this moment where you're sharing your talents and expertise with young people, new people that's just wanting to build and grow. And, hopefully they do their homework and understanding who they are. Using as a mentor because it's definitely an opportunity for them to learn and grow. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us for what have you, Ski Beats, we have producer extraordinaire. We have known him for decades now. Doesn't that sound like, are we
Huh?
getting old?
We oh
Doesn't it sound like we're getting old saying decades, but decades of work,
man, look,
bodies
I
of work.
like getting old. I love getting old. It's dope.
I'm not gonna call it old. I say season. I'm not gonna say old, Ski.
Uh,
You
oh
can
shit.
have old. I'm not doing that.
It's, it's the word. You know what I mean.
No, no, no. Seasoned.
All right.
We're gonna do that. Mm-mm. We're just gonna say we're wiser now.
Yes.
Because we stay young at heart. That's how we are able to still be so vibrant and to show young people, and they're looking at us like, okay, I see you. They don't have to really, really classify us as old because they say you all still got a little bit of beat. You got a little bit of movement, right?
So,
Yes. So please share your social media. Please share your website, any merch, any of the smoke packs and information that you have so that everybody can follow you and be able to keep up with Ski Beats, guys.
hey, just hit me on IG. Ski Beats. SKIBEATZ. You follow me on IG. You know everything that I'm doing. Everything happens right there.
Everything happens right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Ski Beats and we have had a great conversation. We thank you so, so much. This has been a great plan that we had to work through, but we're here. So cheers to you. Thank you from Champagne and Conversations. Hang with us just for a moment and we'll take it out of here, guys. Thank you.